Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant have been one of Hollywood's most loved couples for years. Keanu Reeves, the man Hollywood calls the internet's boyfriend, has found love again. For years now, fans around the world have quietly asked the same question. If Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant seem so happy together, then why haven't they gotten married? It's not because of conflict, it's not because of distance, and it's definitely not because their relationship lacks love. In fact, the answer may have much more to do with Keanu's past than most people realize. When the couple first appeared holding hands together at a public event in 2019, many people were surprised, not because the moment felt unexpected, but because it felt so natural. For the first time in a long while, fans noticed something different about Keanu Reeves. He looked peaceful, but what many people didn't know at the time was that their connection had already been growing quietly for nearly a decade. Keanu and Alexandra actually met back in 2009 at a dinner gathering through mutual friends. What began as a simple friendship slowly turned into something deeper, though not in the typical Hollywood way. There were no dramatic headlines and no sudden public romance. Instead, they built something much slower and stronger. They became creative partners. In 2011, they worked together on a book called Ode to Happiness. Keanu wrote the words, and Alexandra created the artwork. The book was originally meant as a private gift between friends, but it revealed something important about their connection. They understood each other in a quiet and meaningful way. Years later, they collaborated again on another book called Shadows. By 2017, they had even started their own publishing company together. Long before the public ever saw them as a couple, they had already built years of trust, respect, and shared creativity. That history is part of what makes their relationship feel so different from many celebrity romances. Alexandra once explained that falling in love later in life allowed her to enter the relationship as an equal partner. She already had her own successful career and identity. She wasn't stepping into someone else's spotlight. Instead, they were walking forward side by side. And for many fans watching from a distance, something else became clear. Keanu looked happy again, but even as their relationship continued to grow stronger year after year, one question never completely disappeared. Why hasn't he married her? To understand that question, it helps to look back at a chapter of Keanu Reeves' life that changed him forever. In the late 1990s, he was in a relationship with actress Jennifer Syme. The couple was expecting a daughter together and preparing to start a new chapter as parents. They had already chosen a name for their baby girl, Ava, but just weeks before the due date, their daughter was stillborn. The loss was devastating and deeply personal. For anyone, an experience like that can change the way they see the future. And sadly, the tragedy did not end there. Less than 2 years later, Jennifer Syme lost her life in a car accident at only 28 years old. Losing both his child and the woman he loved within such a short period of time left a lasting impact on Keanu's life. He rarely spoke publicly about those experiences, but in one interview years later, he shared something that stayed with many people who heard it. Grief changes shape, but it never really ends. From that point forward, Keanu became known not only as a respected actor, but also as someone who carried a quiet strength shaped by loss. Many fans began to notice how private he remained about his personal life after that time. For years, people wondered whether those tragedies changed how he felt about marriage and family forever. So when Alexandra Grant entered his life, something unexpected happened. For the first time in decades, people began to notice a new kind of energy around him. He appeared more relaxed in public, more open during interviews, even more willing to share moments of his life again. Their relationship didn't look rushed or dramatic. Instead, it looked steady, supportive, and real. They attended events together, they supported each other's creative work, and they continued building something that seemed strong without needing constant public attention. Still, the question remained, why no wedding? Some observers believe the answer may have less to do with the present and more to do with the past. Psychologists sometimes describe something called the fear of future loss. When someone experiences deep heartbreak early in life, they may become more careful about taking emotional steps that once led to pain. It doesn't mean they stop believing in love. Sometimes it simply means they protect it differently. For someone who has already faced unimaginable loss, marriage might not feel like a simple celebration. It may also carry memories connected to another chapter of life. That doesn't mean Keanu Reeves isn't deeply committed to Alexandra Grant. In fact, everything they have shown publicly suggests the opposite. They continue to appear together at important important events. They support each other's work and passions, and their relationship has remained strong for years without the pressure of public expectations shaping their decisions. Some fans have even noticed a ring on Alexandra's hand and wondered whether the couple may already share a private promise away from cameras. Others believe they simply chose a quieter path that works better for them, and maybe that's the real story. Not every relationship needs a traditional ending to be complete. For Keanu Reeves, love today may be less about ceremonies and expectations and more about trust, utter companionship, and peace after a lifetime that included both extraordinary success and heartbreaking loss. Alexandra Grant appears to understand that completely. She has often described their relationship as both independent and deeply connected at the same time. Instead of trying to change each other, they support who they already are, and that kind of partnership is rare. Fans often hope to see a wedding one day, but perhaps what Keanu and Alexandra share already represents something just as meaningful, because sometimes love doesn't follow the timeline people expect. Sometimes it grows quietly, sometimes it heals slowly, and sometimes, after everything a person has lived through, finding someone who brings peace back into their life becomes more important than anything else. So maybe the real question isn't why Keanu Reeves hasn't married Alexandra Grant. Maybe the real story is how, after so much loss, he found the courage to love again at all. And if you believe stories like this show the quieter side of Hollywood that people don't always see, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments what you think. Do you believe marriage matters in a relationship like theirs?